Hey guys, let's talk some astrology vibes. What do we have going on today? First of all, we are in day 2 of Mars in an exact square to Saturn in Aquarius that also happens to be forming an exact square to both the north and the south nodes of the moon. Now, unlike yesterday, we no longer have the moon in an exact conjunction to the north node and square to Mars and Saturn as well. So this is taking a little bit of pressure off. However, the moon moving out of Taurus means that the moon is also moving into the sign of Gemini. What is in Gemini? The black moon is in Gemini. When the moon moves into the sign where the black moon is, this triggers and kicks up black moon energy. So not only are we dealing today with Mars in a conjunction to Saturn and square to the nodes, but we also have black moon vibes going on as well. So definitely some heavier energy could be going on today. We may be experiencing some depression or some very repressed anger or feelings bubbling under the surface a little bit. Let's jump into the report, you guys. Talk about everything that we have playing out, everything that we have coming at us, and maybe some of the best ways we can navigate these choppy waters today. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today is Tuesday, April 5th, 2022. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook of the day. As I said in my excessively long intro, we're in day 2 of this Mars-Saturn energy today, you guys. After today, Mars will move on, this aspect will begin separating, and the tension will sort of ease a little bit. But for now, especially considering that this aspect, this Mars conjuncting Saturn, is also forming an exact square to the north and the south nodes of the moon in Taurus and Scorpio, we are definitely sort of like in the vice right now. There may be just a lot of like pressure and contention and anger and things coming to like their boiling point. A lot also of energy that may have us feeling blocked or restricted in our ability to move forward, to make changes that we want to make right now, to start heading in a new direction, to put our action and energy into something new. We may feel like there are just some serious forces holding us down or working against us at this point in time. We're talking about Mars and Saturn. Mars is our energy body. Mars is the fire planet. Mars rules action. And with the Sun and Mercury also in the sign of Aries right now, ruled by Mars, there's a lot of our energy, honestly, that is geared towards forward movement in a new direction, aligned with something authentic and true to us that we're really passionate and inspired about. With Mars being in the sign of Aquarius and the Sun and Mercury right now being in the sign of Aries, ruled by Mars, but with Saturn's presence there as well. Saturn, for one, Saturn is like the strict teacher, the harsh disciplinarian, the judge. Saturn rules pressure and tests and lessons, karma. Also, Saturn restricts things, Saturn controls things, limits things, obstructs things, holds them back, contains them. When we're dealing with Saturn, ultimately, it is for a purpose of learning a lesson in some way. Again, Saturn does rule karma and presents challenges and difficulties that need to be overcome with Mars here right now in order for us to truly begin to move in that new direction in a way that can produce some actual like long-lasting, enduring results. The things that we are working towards right now, the things that we are creating in our external world, and also the changes that are just going on within us on a vibrational level, are really trying to help move us forward towards this new age of Aquarius, this new Aquarian paradigm that is causing us to pursue paths that are truly in alignment with our authentic truth and to recreate our lives, ourselves, and the world around us in a way that feels authentic and true and real to us, and that supports us and supports our growth and supports our process and liberates us to be free to be ourselves, and in that process to tap into the gifts and the potential and the unique individual blessings, the sign of Aquarius that we alone were blessed with in this life. Universe wants us to tap into those right now and to consider them as like valuable resources that we can use to help us in some way moving forward. And the name of the game right now, as we move through this 2022 year, is really about universe trying to realign us internally and externally in our external world as well in such a way that we are able to see that value, to tap those resources, to cultivate them, and to really start putting them into practice and make something of them that can serve the greater good of humanity as we are heading into this age of Aquarius. And, with Mars and Saturn right there and these planets in Aries, we may, and, everything that's transpired also over this past 2021 lunar cycle that we are just coming out of as of this new moon in Aries. universe has really been putting us through the ringer, sort of, and we've been experiencing a lot of upheavals, a lot of drastic changes, but it's been for the point and the purpose of returning us and restoring us to that place of recognition of the truth, of the value, the authentic potential, and who we really are inside, so that we can become truly the best versions of ourselves moving forward, instead of maybe trying to align with or embody the ideals of society or culture or our friends or families, or who the expectations that people place on us, or this or that or the other thing. That's sort of not the way that things are operating anymore as we're heading into this age of Aquarius. And it's really necessary for us to be able to get in this authentic alignment right now. And that is what this aspect is testing and pushing for and trying to help us break through. But the thing is, it's like Saturn is there, karma is there. So there's these lessons that we need to learn. And the only way that we learn and the only way that we grow, unfortunately, a lot of times is through encountering difficulties, experiencing challenges, and the wisdom gained through the process of overcoming. With Mars and Saturn together right now in the sign of Aquarius, in that exact square to the north and the south nodes. The south node is also karma. It's the past. It's what we're moving out of. It's what we're breaking free from. And the north node, this is the next phase of growth. This is the next page in our soul's collective and individual blueprint. This is what we're learning next. This is what we're growing into in the direction that we're going. And there may be, with these aspects, squares also bring conflict and tension, but it's for the purpose of helping us to break through into another dimension or another level or some type of solution or evolution into something. And, with Mars and Saturn together, this is really probably pitting us up against some challenges that are, doing something for us on an internal level that is helping us to gain a sense of wisdom, maturation, and just a sense of self-empowerment as well, in terms of our ability to rise to these challenges and to handle them responsibly and to handle them, maturely and with tact. Because of Saturn's presence, this is not energy where we should just be sort of flying off the handle and making rash, impulsive actions. If we do that, things are not likely to go well for us in terms of us succeeding and really getting our outcome that we're looking for in this energy, that north node, the ability to move forward and to break free and to go in this new direction. We need to be slowing down right now. We need to be being strategic. We need to be being very practical and logical and precise about our actions and our decisions and the behavior that we are exhibiting in this energy, because the more that we are sort of hot-headed about things, the stronger the resistance we are likely to face in the context of us being able to break ourselves free and go in this new direction, because this is all about this growth right now, these lessons, overcoming, especially with both Saturn and the south node in the square together and with Mars there. This is about us really being able to overcome and gain the wisdom to break ourselves free from these past cycles, these karmic loops, the South Node in Scorpio as well, these perhaps toxic attachments to things that have been keeping us out of our power. Ultimately, this aspect, despite, the challenges that it surfaces for us or puts in our way, is trying to show us the truth of our own power and the ability that we have to endure, to conquer, to persevere, to overcome in the face of seemingly impossible difficulties and challenges. And we can't lose faith either. That's another major dimension of the energy today. There is this sense of magic in the air on the outskirts of the tension or the difficulty or the challenge or the battles, the conflicts, the arguments, the fights. On the global world stage, this can very well manifest as battles and war. It also can represent karmic clashes, between older and younger generations of things. This is major power struggles, major clashes of will, major clashes of power between an older, more established regime or authority or system or way of doing things that has been around for a really long period of time, and a new, spiritually inspired warrior revolutionary type of energy that wants to really come through and switch things up and change things up and be more in alignment with making true progress towards this authentic, the development of this authentic potential and following this newly discovered authentic truth that's, within us, this Mars energy in Aquarius as we're moving into the age of Aquarius. This is what is possibly being presented. There could definitely be conflicts or clashes going on between a younger and an older generation of things vying for power in this energy. I'm going to say that, it could be happening, within families or within organizations, within businesses. This is very like financial institutions and stuff as well, but anywhere where there are like bosses, authority figures, and long-standing ways of doing things that are coming up against this new energy that is coming in and trying to like do things in a better way that is more appropriate for the good of all, this happening in the sign of Aquarius, but some great resistance going on. And, I was saying this day, even though we have this aspect going on, there are other indications in the chart being presented that there is also this magic in the air and this spiritual connection that is so profound right now. And things are being reconstructed. We're actually in the process of reconstructing things at this point in time. And really, at the end of the day, what we're doing in this energy is somehow gaining a more elevated understanding, viewpoint, perspective of things that is going to help us take the actions that are being like stalled or halted or interfered with now to like an even greater level going forward. Whatever holdup we're experiencing or encountering in this energy is making us better, making our output better, making our process better, or what we're producing, what we're creating, what we're initiating at this point in time better, more enduring, more long lasting, more stable, and more successful in the long run. Saturn, ruling success, Capricorn, worldly success, tangible physical rewards for the hard work and the effort that we put into things. That's another aspect of this energy. This is very good energy to be putting very hard, detail-oriented, like focused, diligent effort and work into the things that we wish to create, to produce, to manifest as we're going through this experience. Beautiful, beautiful energy, despite the challenges, despite especially the more heavy nature of this vibe today. I got to talk about the black moon again in a minute. I mean, I'm not saying today is like roses and sunshine, because it likely is not going to feel like that, at all. Although if we are like another really good way, aside from really putting work into things that we want to bring into fruition at this point in time, if we're feeling like our action is blocked, or if we're feeling like we're just like stewing in these negative emotions that we can't express, another really good way to use this energy is to have like your routines on point. Like doing anything that is like a routine nature, or of like a pattern, or where you're really like following the rules and staying like within the guidelines and like operating according to a plan or a blueprint, or just like being very structured with your energy and your time, honestly, like will probably feel pretty good in this energy. That's the way that I've been trying to deal with this energy. And it is definitely like, I do notice a sort of release or an ease in the tension and the frustration when I am, really focusing on staying on my schedule, like staying on task, like having a very organized and structured day, instead of just like, going at it spontaneously and sort of seeing how the, things fall. I really feel like in this energy, it sort of is best to make a plan and do your best, like focus your energy on sticking to it. And I feel like that's sort of a better way to work with the energy if things are getting like a little bit sticky, or just, a little bit heated, or a little bit tense, or a little bit frustrated, or like overwhelming. You know what I mean? Because Saturn also rules like responsibilities and obligations and like our duties, and we may also feel like just like this weight of the world on our shoulders, like all the responsibilities in the world, super overwhelmed, and like everything is like getting in the way of our ability to make progress, or to use our energy creatively, or to do whatever take whatever action that we're trying to make right now. Again, but it's just this feeling of like being stifled in our pursuits and the things that we are moving towards and motivated to pursue at this point in time in this energy. So all of that, you guys, all of that we have going on in terms of this Mars, Saturn, again, it's squaring the nodes. So this is definitely on one hand a karmic release, like as we are gaining this patience, this self-discipline, this like ability to be in this state of like being held back, but figuring out how to overcome it and how to not let it diminish our will or diminish our inspiration or our motivation, but like figuring out how we can do it better, how we can get to it better, how we can create it better. This Mars Saturn energy is trying to refine us and make the things better, but growth, it is what it is. Sometimes it takes a lot to unlock whatever it is within us that we haven't been able to find or see that we need at this point in time to truly change our entire reality. Because that is what this is. This is a shift of ages, you guys. This is a paradigm shift. The experiences, the encounters, the situations, the collapses and the rebirths of things that we're going through now, these dynamic changes, it's all for the purpose ultimately of essentially, making us into a new person, into this much higher version of ourselves, and giving us a capacity to truly get an opportunity to experience and to manifest our version of true fulfillment, true love as a result of the changes that are going on within us, and therefore the changes that are going on in our external world, in our relationships, and the relationship to ourselves. At the end of the day, this year is definitely trying to bring us an entirely new experience of our world and our reality, and that is extrapolating out one by one into genuinely creating this new paradigm, this age of Aquarius, based on these energetic vibrational shifts and these changes and these evolutions, this growth that is going on within us. But we are just in some testing periods right now, you guys, maybe testing our faith as well, but rising to the challenge with Mars and Saturn together, square the nodes. This is directly related to our ability to break through into our new world, into our new reality. And we're coming up against the things that are still creating a resistance within us. Because that's the thing, on a energetic level and a spiritual level, once we can overcome essentially the conflicts within ourselves, the enemies within ourselves, those same things that we face in the physical external world will also dissipate and fade away. But that's sort of like we're coming up against whatever resistances we're still operating within energetically, and those are presenting as physical, tangible experiences to show us and to help us master ourselves, master our own frequencies. We had, again, this new moon in Aries was in an exact conjunction, almost 1 degree off, to Chiron, the master healer teacher archetype. And this entire year is trying to bring us to a state of self-mastery through alchemizing our own wounds, our own states of victimhood, into a state of healing, growth, and ultimately this self-mastery. And, setting up right after that new moon with Saturn, the strict disciplinarian, the strict teacher, Karma coming in with the square with the south node, also ruling karma, and Mars there, our action, our energy, our inspiration, our willpower, our assertiveness, our personal power. And also the square of the north node, this is, directly trying to give us the lessons that will empower us to break through into this new paradigm and free ourselves from any attachments of the past that have been keeping us from seeing the truth of our value, coming into the truth of our power so that we can tap into our potential and really begin to create and live in a way that helps us attract and manifest these truly fulfilling, true love, like soul fulfilling, true love based experiences that are trying to come to us in this 222 year that is representing the same thing numerologically as we are heading into the age of Aquarius, which is representing the same thing energetically. So yeah, it is just a day, a week, actually a year, another year. But this energy, it's just coming in very hot and heavy, Mars and Saturn, but it's not going to be like this forever. But this is just what we're facing right now. Okay, I'm going to move on and talk about the black moon now, because I've been just going on and on and on and on. Okay, so black moon energy, you guys, if you've been following my channel, I talk about the black moon all the time, actually more like twice a month, whenever the moon is in the sign where the black moon is, or the sign opposite the black moon. The black moon rules our shadow side, our subconscious mind, those deep wounds, deep traumas, subconscious programming as a result of those things that keeps us in these perpetual karmic loops. Again, that is really how I see this energy. It's like we don't recognize what part of our own psyche is holding a very dominating force over our actions, our behaviors, our thoughts, the way that our conscious mind is working. And, as a result of what's going on in our subconscious has a very tangible impact on what is happening in our physical reality. And you guys, we are coming to the end of a cycle in terms of black moon energy. First of all, I should say, because the black moon is in effect, whenever the black moon is in effect, whenever we're dealing with the black moon, this can definitely bring up feelings of depression, anxiety, worries, fears, doubts, insecurities, the things that we don't want to face, or that we're just generally, it can have us just feeling a little anxious or a little questioning ourselves, doubting ourselves, just being in worry. And with Mars and Saturn in the square to the north and the south node, this is also heavy energy. Anger turned inwards is depression, and Saturn and Mars together have a tendency of turning anger inwards. We could definitely be dealing with some depression today in regards to like the situation that we're in, or feeling stuck between the past and the future as well, with this square going on between the north and the south nodes. You know, where we're going, where we're coming from, what we're trying to get out of, what we're trying to escape from, or what is, we know we need to move on from right now, but feeling blocked or obstructed, or maybe like there's just something holding us back. Saturn is also can cause us to be self-judgmental and very self-critical and stuff. Maybe, we are questioning our own ability in this energy to actually move forward, to make these changes, to go in this new direction, to have the strength or the willpower. This energy today could definitely be having us question our own abilities, like questioning the faith that we have in ourselves, or our ability to persevere, or our ability to go on. Can we even do it? Do we even have the willpower anymore with the black moon energy coming into effect? But, we can't let that get the best of us. If this energy is surfacing today with the black moon in effect, and the moon, especially in the sign of Gemini, this is trying to help us gain a conscious awareness of our own shadows, of our own issues, of our own subconscious programming that is actually sabotaging our progress and our growth. It's trying to show us that inner critic, or those enemies that we don't recognize that we have within us, that are actually playing a role in manifesting these circumstances that we are pitted up against in like that physical reality, in our physical circumstances. And so we can't allow this energy today, if we are feeling these things, we can't just allow it to overcome us, and to, we can't surrender to that. We can't surrender to the shadow. We can't surrender to the darkness. We have to use that as a mirror to perceive what we still need to heal and fix within ourselves, and not lose the faith to understand that we are, regardless of how today feels on the surface, or what we're facing, or what we feel, the world that we feel like, this abominable force that we may feel like we're up against at this point in time, miracles are still possible. Magic is still here. Like, faith, God, divine, higher powers are orchestrating all of this, and it's for our own growth. And once we can persevere through this and rise to the challenge and overcome our own emotions, and gain that mastery over our conscious mind that can say, I am feeling this right now, like these feelings do feel valid, these fears are valid, but I know that I am a conscious creator, and that I refuse to align with any reality that is presenting right now that is outside of what I know to be true in my heart, and what I know to be true in my intuition and in my spiritual alignment and of my higher self, and what I know that God truly, universe, spirit truly, desires for me in their divine image of me. And I am going to continue to persevere and move towards that, regardless of how I may be feeling in the 3D world in this moment, or what may be presenting to me, or the challenges. Like, just, I'm not accepting anything other than what I truly know to be true in my heart. Like, that is really a way that we may have to deal with the energy today. If there are just challenges or fears, insecurities, doubts, we feel like, questioning whether or not we can actually do it, whether or not we actually have the ability to move on and to actually go down this new path and to make things happen for ourselves. So I wanted to say that as well. Definitely, we could be feeling heavy vibes today, some depression going on. But again, let's talk about we got another thing to talk about today, and that is Venus is entering Pisces right now. Venus, you guys, is exalted in Pisces. We also currently have Jupiter and Neptune, both rulers of Pisces, in the sign of Pisces. So energetically right now, you guys, with Venus in Pisces, Jupiter in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces, all of the planets who love to be in Pisces, in the sign of Pisces right now, this is definitely offsetting things a little bit. This vibe with these 3 planets in the sign, this is like all the love vibes. This is like peace, beauty in like massive abundance, spiritual connection, divine inspiration. The like compassion, high heart vibrations, love. Like this is a very, very beautiful energy that we have going on in the sign of Pisces right now, especially now that we have Venus having entered into the sign. And so, you know, on one hand, this is really, really like intense, volatile energy that we have going on that could be really making us feel not so great today. But on the other hand, if we can sort of like escape into our mind's eye and imagining our visions of the future and what we want for ourselves and aligning with God, aligning with spirit, aligning with a higher purpose, aligning with our like higher path, and just trusting and having faith and knowing that despite what we're facing in the 3D right now, you know, this is not the reality that we are creating for ourselves. This may be the reality that we're navigating at the moment, but this is not what we are creating. And, you know, our job is to overcome. But with these 3 planets in this sign, this is telling us that over this next few weeks, especially, I mean, we are having this Jupiter-Neptune conjunction happening like now. They're 1 degree apart. April 15th, I believe, is the day that they will be in exact conjunction. But now also that we have Venus in this sign, this is actually providing some really beautiful, compassionate, high heart energy that we are going to have going on for the next several weeks. So that is definitely a positive of what we have going on in the chart today, aside from the issues that we may be facing as well. All right, so now let's talk about some of the Sabian symbols that we have in effect for today alongside the planet placements, because they are sort of telling their own story. And again, this is sort of bringing a vibe that, you know, we do have this magical energy to like grasp onto today in the midst of whatever we may be dealing with, to help us remember to like really keep our faith and stay on track. So we have the sun today coming to 16 degrees of Aries. That Sabian symbol is fairies dancing in the setting sun. So fairies dancing in the setting sun, this to me is sort of like the magic is alive in despite of like whatever darkness with this black moon today that we may be peering into or staring into or just seeing or finding within ourselves. The position of the sun today is talking about the magic still being very alive and present in the experience, and not to lose hope and not to lose faith in the face of whatever it is that we may be facing. We have the earth today, the position of the earth, what's happening with things on the ground perhaps, at 16 degrees of Libra, always in a polar opposition to the sun. That Sabian symbol is a boat landing, stands in need of reconstruction. So we may feel like some things need to be rebuilt right now, and there may have been a major storm that has come through or that is in the process of coming through that may be sort of blowing up our world, or, you know, destroying things in some capacity, in some way, to some extent. However, we are going to rebuild, you know, that whatever tension, whatever breakthroughs or breakdowns need to happen right now, remember, they're for the purpose of growth and something better coming, a greater alignment, a greater sense of fulfillment, an ability to see things from a higher, more elevated perspective and change our attitude and change our viewpoint and shift our vibration so that we can attract these new experiences into our life. A boat landing stands in need of reconstruction. After we pass through this Mars-Saturn energy that was going on yesterday, still going on today, we may feel like some things need to be reconstructed in some type of way, or that may be the energy that we feel like we've been like up against, like we're trying to reconstruct things, but maybe things are just a little difficult at this point in time. But that's the position of the earth today, and I feel like it's just generally talking about this rebuilding process that is to come. And then we have Mercury, 19 degrees of Aries. Now this isn't a significant placement today because we have the moon in Gemini. The moon is in Gemini, ruled by Mercury, and so what Mercury is doing today also has a special emphasis. And Mercury's at 19 Aries, as I said, the magic carpet of Oriental imagery. So there's another one that is sort of reminding us that the magic is still alive. And this is talking about a magic carpet. This is talking about an enchanted viewpoint, almost like being able to really, really rise above and to see a very good view of things from like the bird's eye perspective, an elevated viewpoint, an elevated perspective. And that is what maybe inherently going on today. We may, with Mercury at this degree in the sign of Aries, be seeing our struggles, be seeing our difficulties from a different viewpoint, from an elevated perspective. But definitely with the fairies dancing in the setting sun and the magic carpet of Oriental imagery, we need to remember that no matter what challenges we're facing today, the magic is still very much alive. We're still moving to this 2022 year. Miracles and unlimited opportunities are trying to come to us, but it's dependent on our ability to persevere, to overcome these challenges, and to go through this growth. We also, you guys, this Mars Saturn conjunction, as I mentioned yesterday, happening at 23 degrees of Aquarius, a big bear sitting down, waving all of its paws. Definitely some aggressive, defensive behavior could be going on, especially in regards to these conflicts or these clashes of will or these clashes of power between the older and the younger versions of something, which is just likely represented in this energy. We also have Jupiter right now at 23 degrees of Pisces, a materializing medium performing a seance. Again, the spiritual connection, so strong right now. We cannot lose our faith. We cannot surrender to the shadows. We cannot surrender to the darkness. We need to remember what we are in the process of creating and detach ourselves from perhaps, what we are physically, tangibly experiencing right now based on our past creations before we had gone through this realignment, gained this greater viewpoint, been able to, heal and come into a greater mastery over ourselves and our own vibration and therefore our own personal experiences. Each moment, you guys, we are creating the future, and what we are living now, what we are living in each moment is a product of the past and where we were in the past. So, things right now that we may be experiencing are not a result of what is coming. It's a result of what has been. And we just need to remember that. We also have Pluto right now at 29 degrees of Capricorn, a woman reading tea leaves. Again, another reference to this ability to really truly connect to the higher planes, to the divine, to universe, to God, and receive guidance, information that can help us on our path. This spiritual connection, very tangible, very strong, very much in effect today. And we also, you guys, have the South Node right now at 23 degrees of Scorpio. In the square to Saturn and Mars, a bunny metamorphosized into a fairy. Again, another fairy reference. Bunny metamorphosized into a fairy. This is also talking about this process of alchemization. It reminds me of the Chiron archetype that we're dealing with all this year that is trying to help us transmute and transcend our states of lower ego-based victimhood and experience and instinct and ways of operating with the world into a much more, as I said, alchemized or transmuted or transformed or metamorphosized state of self-mastery and self-empowerment and self-understanding and self-knowledge. All of these Age of Aquarius themes that Chiron is growing us into this year as we are all collectively on this hero's journey that is truly helping us to metamorphosize ourselves from our lower nature into our higher selves, into our highest potential, and unlock that potential and serve it willingly to the world, to the greater good of humanity in true Aquarian fashion. And then as a result of what we are giving, be prepared to receive that, if not more, in true soul-based abundance and fulfillment coming. This is the other aspect of this energy that we're moving into, Age of Aquarius and this 222 year. But you guys, that's what I have to say for the astrology today. I don't know how I do this. Every time I start this report, I'm like, oh, it's going to be like 10, 15, 20 minutes tops. Like, I only have a couple things to say. And then it turns into this long diatribe. And I'm like, what am I even saying? But I guess that's just how it goes. And it ends up being so long. But I don't know how to not say the words that are coming to me. So apologize for the lengthiness yet again of this report. Let's talk about the tarot for a minute. We got some cards coming out of the deck today. This is all talking about, it's basically, okay, we got reversals, we got upright cards. The first card that we got coming out of the deck was the Ace of Swords. This is a new inspiration. This is a new idea. This is a fresh perspective. This is an elevated viewpoint. This is some type of crucial piece of information coming in. This is learning something new, but generally this is just fresh insight, fresh inspiration, fresh perspective, fresh, new lease on life, sort of, learning something new that, whatever. The next card that we have coming in was the Five of Wands in reverse. The Five of Wands is a card of conflict, inner conflict a lot of times. It's in reverse. So something to do with stepping away or surrendering or not engaging in some type of conflict. We also got the Seven of Cups in reverse. This is a card of the Seven of Cups. This is all about sort of being confused and having a lot of options and being like not really sure what to choose, not really knowing, being like confused or in a state of like illusion. So I feel like, and then after that, we got the Nine of Pentacles, which was also in reverse. And then after that, we got the King of Cups upright. And then we had the Eight of Wands in reverse on the back of the deck. So considering we had the Eight of Wands in reverse on the back of the deck, and we have these three cards in the middle of the reading in reverse as well, and we have the Ace of Swords for our first card. Now, this card is talking about some type of inspiration or some type of information or some type of communication or some type of fresh perspective. And this card right here, Eight of Wands, this is talking about like something coming forward, something happening fast, something flying through the air. A lot of times the Eight of Wands is a card of receiving some type of communication. And this was also in reverse. So, but then the other card that was upright was the King of Cups. This is all about emotional maturity and recognizing the value that we have inside of us, and therefore being able to open to like love and emotions, and just also being very in control of our emotions, but having a very, very good relationship to our own emotions, to our own heart space, and therefore being able to express emotions and express love from a very mature way, and just feeling very filled up inside of ourselves. So we are so we attract and engage in relationships and experiences that are also very rich and loving and emotional and mature in those ways. And considering these three cards were in reverse, and so was the Eight of Wands, I feel like this is saying perhaps feeling like our progress could still be blocked. It's like we're not, we're surrendering. We're not really trying to fight anymore. We're not really trying to engage in maybe the conflicts that we used to, and we're gaining some clarity. You know what I mean? The Seven of Cups in reverse, like we are gaining a greater understanding. We're deciding what we truly want, and maybe what we truly want, or what we're realizing we really are and that we've been fighting against perhaps, is the fact that we are this Nine of Pentacles. We're recognizing the value within us, but we're maybe, with the Eight of Wands in reverse on the back of the deck, maybe we're just not really seeing the forward movement or the progress or the we have this new inspiration, this new idea that we need to surrender and we need to make a choice and we need to follow this path that can lead to our greatest personal development, the Nine of Pentacles, the self-made woman. And, we're trying to come from this place of love and of filling up our own cup and being in control of our own emotions. But with the Eight of Wands on the back of the deck, again, something about the forward movement of this process could just be feeling blocked right now, because we are needing to, again, with Saturn there, it's like we have to still go through some lesson. We still have something to overcome. We have something that we need to learn, that we need to gain through this process. And I really think it has a lot to do with this King of Cups energy. I mean, we have this new insight, we have this clarity coming in, but it's like nothing is happening. It's like we're surrendering and, we're choosing, we've decided, we're acknowledging the value, but it's like it's not upright, it's not happening, it's not moving forward. And I think this is indicating that, we really do need to get in this Jupiter-Neptune energy right now, conjuncting in the sign of Pisces, and really truly try to align with these unconditional love vibes and these faith on a very emotional level, because with the Ace of Swords and the King of Cups both being the upright cards in this message, it's saying it's almost like in order to flip this thing around and to gain this forward movement, what we really need to do is master our own emotions. And again, that could be an aspect of this lesson that Saturn is teaching right now, with Mars being in the conjunction to Saturn. And remember, yesterday we also had the moon forming that square our emotions, and this is trying to get us to practice self-discipline and self-control and really strategize and plan before we act and stuff. And I feel like the message is, if we're feeling blocked in our progress right now, even if we feel like we're doing all the right things, and like if we're feeling like things still aren't moving forward, it's because there is still some type of emotional maturity or power over our own emotions, our own ability to give and receive that we need to gain some type of new insight on in this energy. I feel like that's the message of the cards today. It was a little more complicated message coming through, but I guess it needed to be just in the context of this energy. I don't know. Okay, let's grab a synchronicity card. You guys, this is going to be our last message of the day. Let's see what God has to say. What additional advice might be beneficial to us as we are navigating our energy today, which again could be a heavier vibe for sure with this black moon in effect, and also Mars and Saturn square the nodes. All right, I'm going to shuffle one more time. These are just messages from God. They're by Janice Shellman. I really, really love these cards. Miss you, Jana. Hope you're doing well. I hope you're recovering. And sending you prayers. Okay, and it's so funny, you guys. The card that just popped out of the deck is exactly what I was just saying about these two cards. Look at what this says. It's your attitude. Yep. Straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. Matthew 7:14. The only way you can alter outer conditions is to change your mental attitude. For harmony, peace, prosperity, and health to enter your life, you must first fill your subconscious with the understanding that all harmony, peace, abundance, and security is yours right now. The cards did it again. This is what this is the message I've been trying to convey this entire report, that despite what is happening in our physical world on the 3D, it's our job to maintain the vision, to maintain the image, to keep our eye on the prize, to understand what we're creating and be concerned with what we're creating and not necessarily what we're seeing now as a result of our past creations. It's our attitude. Mercury, the magic carpet of Oriental imagery, changing our viewpoint, changing our perspective, and exactly these two cards as well. If we feel like things are upside down for us right now, we need to gain an insight on, how we're dealing with our emotions, our emotional maturity, changing our attitude. I'm going to read this card again because it is so on point for what this energy is asking for us in the lessons that are being presented. The only way you can alter outer conditions is to change your mental attitude. For harmony, peace, prosperity, and health to enter your life, you must fill your subconscious with the understanding that all harmony, peace, abundance, and security is yours right now. The magic is alive, you guys. Regardless of what we are navigating on the ground in this energy, what stands in need of reconstruction perhaps in this energy, we have to remember that it ultimately is trying to actually help bring us to a better place, help us grow, help us change our attitude, help us mature, help us gain a better way of using our energy, of using our emotional energy in regards to helping us to attract, manifest, and experience the things that will bring us this true fulfillment, this true love, this true peace, this true harmony, this true happiness that this 222 year is trying to bring to us. So you guys, that's what I have for the message today. I am so sorry it was so long. I don't know how I do this, but it just happens. Thank you. If you made it all the way to this end of this video, thank you guys so much for bearing with me. And even if you didn't, thank you so much for being here, for watching for coming to my channel, for watching this video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends if you think they'd be interested. Leave me comments, you guys. I absolutely love your comments. I love your feedback. I love hearing what you have to say, how these aspects and energetics are manifesting themselves in your own lives. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, an Instagram, and a TikTok, and a website. Those are in my description box below, and come back with me tomorrow, you guys. Mars is moving out of aspect with Saturn. We're going to have more black moon energy, and I'm sure we're going to have a lot to talk about. You don't want to miss it, and I will see you then. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Bye, guys.